I'm going to be doing a what's in my bag year 13 edition. So first I have my laptop and iPhone charger connected because nothing worse than being on 1% in school, and also I need to get my work done. And then I also make sure that my pen is here for when I'm doing past paper revision. I'm going to need to write on something. And what are the chances that I brought paper with me to school? 100%, but I prefer writing on my laptop. Along with that, I also have my writing glove on. It's normally not that hard to put on. This is the first time I've had to struggle. And this is just for writing because sometimes the thing moves when I'm trying to just do my work, okay? And then I've got my books. Obviously the amount of books depends on how much lessons I have that day, but I have 3 books. I've got a biology and chemistry version of this, but I like to leave this in school in my locker. I just have this one here because I have some work that I need to do and I'm going to need to use the book to do it. And then I have my handy dandy glasses. Sometimes I bring my other pair, sometimes I bring both. It just depends what decides to teleport into my bag that day. And then I've got my pencil case. I just got this new pencil case recently because let me show you my old pencil case. Here she is, and it is usable, evidently, but she's old and dusty, and along with that, quite crusty. So I just thought it was time to get a new pencil case. Anyways, in my pencil case, I have the best calculator ever, presenting you with the CG50. This calculator saved my life, saved my exams. When I got this calculator, I realised I'd been living life on hard mode, okay? Also, let me tell you an emotional story with me and CG50 right here. I recently had a maths test. Let me actually show you the maths test. I got 66 out of 80, not too bad. I managed to finish every question, but do you know why? Let me show you the last question. The last question was 8 marks. 8 marks. I had 20 minutes left when I got to the end of the test, which was here, and I just got a bit too complacent. I thought, oh, I'll be able to finish that later. So I went back to the front, and then I realised there's 2 minutes left, so I thought, let me just do a double check. Let me flick through everything again. I realised I hadn't done this question. I had 2 minutes. I am being so truthful when I say I was able to do an 8-mark question in 2 minutes. Which, bear in mind, I got 7 out of 8 marks on just because my CG50 can draw graphs for me. I actually just had to smile to myself, right, when those 2 minutes were up, because I've never done an 8-mark question in 2 minutes. So next up in my pencil case, in this section, I have batteries for my calculator, obviously. The worst thing that can happen is your calculator running down before a test, and you have to use a GCSE one, okay? So in the next section, it's just full of stationery. I've got highlighters, and then I've got my coloured pens. The purple is for marking correct. I'm not colourblind, I promise. The green is for marking, you know, correct answers. Purple is for corrections. And then everything else is just for drawings. And if I want to write something important, I'll use pink. Also, look at this amazing heart diagram I did yesterday with my pens. And as if those coloured pens were not enough, I also have... My friend broke this, by the way. She has a thing with playing with my pens. I always tell her to stop. Put them down, but no, you know, she just has to do what she has to do. I told her it's gonna break, trust me, it's gonna break, and it's broken. But so when I write and I press down, this thing comes off, but it works sometimes it doesn't. I just have to be careful when I'm writing on the paper. But then I've got a pencil with a rubber, another pencil with a rubber. I've got a ruler. You can't really see the markings, but surprisingly, given the subjects that I take, I've never had to measure anything. Rarely in biology, I might need to measure a cell or something, but I don't really measure anything. It's rare that I'll need to use my ruler for anything other than just needing a straight line to draw graphs. So that's what my ruler's for. And then in this section, I've got my pens, writing pens. If you like pens like these, it's kind of inky pens. I don't really like them. I prefer pens that are more like this because I feel like it makes my handwriting look more neat. But if you do like inky type pens, you can get it from Shein. They have like a box of 8. I think it's like £2, I don't know. And then the Bic 4 coloured pen feel like everyone has this. Like. And then I also have an Octo buddy in the corner because it came with my order when I was getting the pencil case. So I just put it in there so I don't lose it. And that is everything for my pencil case. In this corner section of my bag, I have my lip combo. I don't really touch it up in school. I don't really touch up my makeup at all in school, to be honest. But sometimes if I've decided to really hydrate that day, my lip combo disappears, so I just keep this, so if I need to retouch it, I can retouch it. Then I also have some pens in here. Sometimes if I'm in a rush to leave lesson, I'll just throw my pens in my bag. Like, I'll just zip up my pencil case, put my pens in my bag. I'll find them later. And I've got Pringles. Obviously that's not what's in my bag every day. All right, I'd hope not. But today I had Pringles in my bag. And then perfume, because it's nice to smell nice. This is the best perfume I think I've ever worn. I remember I bought 2 of these because I loved it so much, and one of them I dropped it in the bathroom floor, broke everywhere, my perfume beautifully smelling everywhere, and I was in distraught. There's barely any left, so I'm trying to save it as much as I can. I got this from Body Care, by the way. I think it was only £4, but they don't do it anymore. This was like 2 years ago, so I'm gonna try and find it online and get another one. This is Soul Pear and Sweet Pea Bouquet Cologne, made in Korea, 100 milliliters, blah blah blah. That smells really nice. It has a soapy perfume smell. You know those perfumes that kind of smell like soap, but the perfume version of soap. Am I saying, does it? Yeah, it does. And then this, I got it from the hair shop. It's called Coco Mademoiselle. Also smells really nice. I normally mix all of those perfumes together, and as a combo, they smell amazing. Then I've got Edge Gel. I actually have like this, like small one that I took when I went on holiday. I prefer to just keep this in my bag. But if I've been getting ready and I can't find this, I'll just take this one to school with me. I don't really do my edges every day, to be honest. I only do them when I put my hair up. So this is for when I need to touch up my edges. And then I've got hand lotion. Can't have your hands dry in school. Can't have your hands dry anywhere. And I've got deodorant because, you know, when you walk past someone and it's just a disrespectful stench, you do not want to be that person. I do not want to be that person, so just make sure you bring deodorant to school. Also, the walking that I do before school is about 15-20 minutes, and obviously I'm not going to be sweating after a 20-minute walk, but it just feels reassuring to put on some deodorant after that. And then I have my earphones. We all know the feeling when you leave the house and realise you forgot your earphones. Not a good feeling. I always make sure the night before I put these in my bag. And then got a water bottle, have to stay hydrated. And on the outside of my bag, I just have this cute, she's not Minnie Mouse, is she? Hello Kitty keychain thing. Me and my friends all have matching ones. Charlie bought this one back from Italy for me, and Anna bought one back from Italy for Louisa because they had work experience there. And I just have my locker key on there, and then I also put my house key there as well. And that is everything that is in my school bag. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.